what's happening? It's your dude, the merciless Reece L. Black. Welcome back to the booth. And of course, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe, like the video, share it. And also, if you haven't already followed us on the gram, CO2 Rawcast. If you want to be nosy, follow your boy. Good evening, Mr. Black. Yeah, we're going there today. So recently there's been a lot of reports of just anybody getting a divorce right now. You got the Currys, Dr. Dre had his, and just a slew of other ones where a bunch of men are pretty much losing half of everything. And it's interesting how a lot of these high profile celebrity marriages affect today's modern man, or the traditional man who doesn't exactly have, 6 figures, to $1 million in the bank. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to go ahead and speak to all the individuals out there that seem to have this fear of not only marriage, but also the fear of monogamy. First and foremost, what a lot of you guys really need to stop doing, I believe I said this in a previous video, I believe in my, Why Men Settle video, I think that's what it was, where I was pretty much always talking about how men are just choosing wrong, choosing with the wrong head. That's really what it comes down to. A lot of you men should not be afraid of an institution that you pretty much are the progenitor of. You start this. We're talking about marriage here. Rule number 1. That woman who you are looking to marry does not get married until you ask. Second, she does not get married until she says yes. And third, guess what? She doesn't get married unless you already committed to her in the beginning. There's a lot of y'all right now who can't even get a date. A lot of you guys are pretty much in other people's posts, other platforms, posting. Yeah, man, see, this is why I'm not going to get married. See, these chicks be tripping. See, they all gold diggers. See, they want to be with you and, they want to just, secure the bag. That's all they want to do. That's them. Maybe if you're taking the time to choose right. Now, I know a lot of you guys want to make the argument. Well, let's just say a man does pretty much know who he wants to marry in about, 6 months or to a year. Who says you got to get married 6 months to a year? Go ahead and take your time. Go ahead and basically utilize the vetting process. You don't have to just go ahead and jump in the marriage bed that fast. Because, yeah, I believe it is true that, yeah, there's a bunch of people out there, especially on the men's side too. But let's go ahead and let me talk to the men real quick, because we're the ones who are proposing. Any woman can play the game. We're not talking about the whole PJ Washington game. Yeah, we heard what happened with that. But the deal is, how long? What is the most appropriate time to propose? First of all, I made a video previously on my 5 attributes of a woman that pretty much makes her a keeper. Just a keeper. I didn't mention anything about marriage, I don't believe. Now, let's just say 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and a lot of women know this too. Most women generally wait up to like 3 years. After that 3rd year, they have a tendency to pretty much just be like, okay, he on the bullshit. I'm not wasting my time. And a lot of men out there that don't want to get married ends up taking those type of women. And it's sad because you got the men out there that want to be married who gets with the wrong type of woman, the woman that does not even want to be married. They are pretty much in love with what you have, your resources, whether it's your money, whether it's your status, whether, you have this red carpet ability that she could be attached to. You could get them in the door. The limelight gets put on her because she's with you. Yes, there are some women that are in love with that attention. They are. But you also understand there's also women out there that do not want you to waste their time. There's a bunch of women out there that would love to be a wife, that will love to be a mother, to help contribute to continuing your legacy, to nation build. And let me go ahead and get into that aspect. Now, a lot of you brothers out there, you pretty much are, especially in the black community, you already know how we get down. We always talk about generational wealth. When we always talk about nation building. And I've said this before, we really cannot talk about generational wealth if we do not talk about committed relationships. But a lot of you men out there are pretty much just trying to go after the woman that's either a dime or an 8. Just as long as they look super good just for your ego. A lot of you guys are just not looking for a woman that you can be attracted to because she has a freaking brain, because she actually has something productive that she holds within her mental that can help you out, that can help both of you guys strive for bigger and better things for the future, especially when it comes to family. I know a lot of you guys were not pretty much taught to, think about the future. Today's modern dating, I see it. You see a baddie, you just want to jump right in and smash. She looks good. And then it is so good. Yeah, that box is so good that you end up wanting to wife her up just because you don't want her to be with anybody else. That is unfortunate. Beauty fades, and the ladies know that too. But also with the men, they can get exhausted from you. And this is what happens when this is generally what happens when it comes into dating. You guys date so long because the fun goes on and off, on and off, on and off. Your personalities are not meshing the longer that you're kicking it with, because it's a possibility that those true colors may show. But if you're not feeling the individual, you're in this long relationship, and even the sex is actually starting to take a little halt. You guys can either talk about it or talk about splitting ways, part ways, break up. You don't have to be afraid of marriage. Marriage begins with you. You're the one proposing. You're the one that you see this woman to be suitable for your wife, as your wife. But what ends up happening is you guys concentrate on the sex so much that you open up the window to get burned. Your energy alone to approaching a woman on the reason why you even wanted to be in a committed relationship was already foul. Just because the sex was good? We're talking about marriage here. Marriage, we're talking about, yes, it is a business. But it's a business of producing a legacy for you. If you actually have your own business right now, just think. Your children are going to be the heir to your business. You're not a fun individual. And I could kind of see what type of man you are. Any man that basically says, I'm not getting married, or, I don't see the benefits of marriage. The benefits of marriage is legacy building. Children. Families. If we do not have more babies, especially that are secured in a marriage, we die off. The other nations know about that. It's just us. You guys are just afraid to get married because you don't want this ratchet chick who you knew you shouldn't even be committed to take half your shit. Don't blame marriage. You made that choice. You started the marriage. It begins with you. But it also begins with you finding the appropriate woman / partner / helpmate who are actually showing you that they have those qualities. You can't always just be thinking with this one down here. For one, what are you doing going on a gram DM and chicks talking about, man, she looks like she's wifey material? It don't work like that. Anybody can act like that. Just like there's men out there that act like their husbands, but guess what? They end up burning the chick. It goes both ways. But for a man to be afraid of an institution that he pretty much began, that don't make any sense. I'm not saying that you have to get married, but marriage don't got shit to do with you fucking up, choosing the mate. Shout out to Kev Hick when he talked about selection before conception, because a lot of you dudes out there are also knocking up women who you knew you shouldn't have been knocking up. And if you're not listening to your day ones about that, then we really know it's you. A lot of you guys are hard-headed, and we can tell that you are by looking at the type of comments that you put in on other people's platforms when it's regarding marriage. If marriage is not for you, then it's not for you. Marriage is like military. It's good for some people. But if it's not for you, you ain't got to let the whole planet know about it. Just don't get married. But I'm going to tell you something. When you know how to choose, life becomes better. And you know how to choose because you take care of yourself. When you know you got it going on, when your appearance is straight, when your diction is straight, when your purpose is straight, you can literally pick who you would like to share your life with. But if you're all about ass and titties, all about the sex, all about what this chick has to have, physically, you're already due from the beginning. And guess what she's going to do? She's going to act like the woman that you want. And that's the dangerous part. Then you're going to get burned. So you go in to a committed relationship. I'm sorry, if you end up going into dating with bad energy, what the hell do you think you're going to get in return? And you guys really need to think about that. Anyways, I just wanted to go ahead and drop that little video on y'all for today. It's hot as hell out here in the Bay Area. That's why I'm sweating right now. But you guys know how I do. I'm out this piece. Good evening, Mr. Black.